So at the outset, मैंने बैठ के सोच रहा था, today is the Human Rights Day, Adesh ji. Today is the Human Rights Day. Now I am the first person to protest against my human rights. Ask me why. हम लोगों ने सारी एडवोकेट्स बनाते हैं, हम लोग टीचर है, लॉ पढ़ाते हैं, लॉ रिसर्च कराते हैं, लेकिन देखिए प्रेफरेंस दिया जाता है लास्ट में. आदेश जी आपने सुन लिया मैं क्या बोलना चाहता हूं. टीचर्स मेक्स एडवोकेट्स, बट टीचर्स आर ट्रीटेड एट द लास्ट. So now today's episode I am talking about, sir. So
नॉर्थ इंडिया में लास्ट में बुलाते हैं बड़े को और साउथ में बड़े को पहले बुलाते हैं.
ये लॉयर्स का एजुकेशन है, ये लॉयर्स का जूरिस्प्रूडेंस है, लेकिन हाउ फार दिस इज ट्रू आई डू नॉट नो. Well, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, let us give a hand of applause to Priya Mathur ji, who has taken a great initiative, in creating the two apps, not only the organizing the National Lawyers Conference, but also Vidhik Sampark and Vidhik Sahayata. And these are the two apps. One is for the advocates, another is for the people. Vidhik Sahayata and Vidhik Sampark Sahayata, advocate. So these are the two apps which is going to give justice to the poorest among the poor. And that is something great. Now, if we look at the Indian justice delivery system, I will talk a little bit about the justice delivery system. Before that, I must thank all my colleagues sitting on the dais, starting with Priya Mathur ji, Sondip Maroya ji just now left, Pradeep Rai ji, Japan Babu ji, Janashadhan Sinha, Adish Agrawal ji, and my other colleagues sitting on the dais and up the dais. Now, if we look at the justice delivery system, the way it has evolved. Now, my previous speakers have spoken a lot about the way the transparency needs to be implemented at every level, the way the justices are not being delivered, the transparency among the judges, it has been talked about. But what happens to the poor man? Who provides them the justice? Nobody thinks about them. We may come in the conference. I am a teacher, so I can take the liberty of speaking my mind. And I am taking the liberty of speaking the mind because you, the young mind sitting over there, we all believe in God. We ask them, Almighty. What is Almighty? What is Almighty? Why do we tell him the Almighty? Because we pray that, oh God, give me a good attitude to help the people. Love the people. L stands for love. Motivate me so that I can become a good human being. And I also maintain my integrity with honesty, and I know the technology the way you know it, and I remain young. Why young? Because God never gets old. Why we say he's a tech savvy? Because look at our human body. The way our human body has been created. And this is Almighty. And this is the way we can all the time pray. And then we say, Asato masat gamayo, tamaso majati gamayo, mittur ma mrityu gamayo. Why do you say? असत्य के सत्य तरफ सबसे ज्यादा झूठा होते हैं हमारे हिंदुस्तान में. आई एम सॉरी टू से. झूठ को सच बना देते हैं, सच को झूठ बना देते हैं. कौन बनाते हैं? हमारा जस्टिस डिलीवरी सिस्टम. Hundreds and thousands of cases. असतो मा सद्गमय. We pray. असत्य के सत्य तरफ ले चलो. तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय. मुझे डार्कनेस टू लाइट की तरफ ले चलो. And tamoso ma jyotirgamaya, mrittur ma amritagamaya. Oh God, lead me from death to immortality. We know all of us will die. Then why we pray for that? We pray because we like to make our mark. We like to make our mark in the country, in the humanity, in the world, so that when I leave, my physical body may go, but my name remains in the heart of the people. That's the immortality. Now, if that is so, then what is the message from a teacher to the students, from a teacher to the practitioner? The teacher to the practitioner is that please do something for the betterment of the society, for providing the justice to the last mile, justice to poorest among the poor. We have seen many evolution, legal aid cell. There is a huge advertisement of the legal aid cell. Now, how many people get that type of services? So as I am to speak for a few minutes, I'd like to give some conceptual foundation how this last mile can be provided to for some cases where there is a monetary litigation taking place. And I call it litigation funding. I do not know how many of you know it, litigation funding. Now corporates are coming up in a huge way. I'm a poor man, I don't have money. On an average, the country, it has seen, on an average per litigation, in the lower courts, it takes about 80,000 per family. And that is the statistics. Now, litigation funding, can some interface, like the way the app has been created, can we create some sort of a structure where the litigation funding can be made, where corporates can be taken into consideration for fund a particular type of litigation where the person is not in a position to fight the case. And the funding agency will not have any interest on the scale, on the case. But if there is a case has got some monetary implications, let some percentage of the monetary things can be given to the corporates in lieu of the fund that he has provided. So a corporate funding concept has to be brought in, because all said and done, whatever we say theoretically, money matters. If money matters, where from the money comes? Money has to come from some sources. Money has to come from the people who can afford to do that. And there are many agencies that has come up, and typically, I was just going through the literature. I was finding some organization in Tamil Nadu. They are AWK. They have come up with this type of litigation funding concept, and they are helping about 300 litigants in terms of getting the justice who cannot afford to provide the justice. And once, say, matrimonial cases, there is monetary transactions. Different corporate cases, education cases where there is a monetary transaction, property-related cases where there is a monetary transaction. So then there is an agreement takes place between the funding agency and the litigants, and depending upon the funding, they need to provide essentially some percentage on success of the case they are being provided. Of course, there is a challenge in terms of the delay of the justice delivery system. So many millions of the cases are pending. So that is a serious problem. But there are many arbitration mechanisms came into the place. But sorry, the cases have not reduced to. But this is unfortunate. आदेश जी आप बैठे हैं, पता नहीं चले गया कि बैठे नहीं बैठे हैं, चले गया. आपको सुनना चाहिए that इतना arbitration तब करा रहे हैं, arbitration act भी लाए हैं, mediation and reconciliation act भी लाए हैं. But where is that number of cases, why it is not getting reduced to? तारीख के बाद तारीख क्यों लग रहे हैं? अभी मैं आज ही न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ रहा था that the reporter who was brutally murdered, I think Viswanathan, brutally murdered near JNU. And it took 12 years to get the justice to put those culprits behind the bar. And after getting the justice, father died. Although he got the justice, but how much he could not release the justice. And it is the story of everywhere. Now, lower judiciary transparency you are talking about. People have taken away their belief and faith in the lower judiciary. What should be done? Transparency is there. Accountability of the judges are negligibly small. I may be speaking, may not be palatable to many, but I, as a teacher, have the right to speak the way I look at it. Now, if the young mind, you have to search the solutions. One of the solutions I proposed about the litigation funding. There could be other innovations. There could be other way of looking at it. And then actually the mission for which this advocate conference has been created, or the apps have been created by Vidhik Sahayata, mobile app, and also the another app that is Vidhik Sahayata, advocate, and the other act which has been created is Vidhik Sampark. I mean, similar way, if something can be done, maybe some better way, because we have to reach to the last mile. We have to reach to the poorest among the poor. We have to provide the justice to the poorest among the poor. Then and then, this type of conferences, this type of agencies will be finding a proper name and fame, and they will remain immortal. And the last mortality to immortality, that concept will be successful. I thank Priya Mathurji, because I was being given the last chance, for which I have protested already, because academicians produces everybody, but they get the last chances. That is also another interesting thing to be observed too. You will be finding teachers are never recognized. Teachers are never being put in the proper position. Very rarely. Bar Council, look at the number of teachers. I am very vocal about it. Why? We are producing lawyers. They are becoming advocates of the registration by the Bar Council. Where is our recognition? Teachers are never being recognized. And that is also another important point must be looked into by young mind like all of you. Because you are the product of those great institutions which produced you. So with these words, I once again congratulate Priya Mathurji, Priya Thakurji for taking this initiative, and bunch of young people like Dilip Kumar is doing a great job. He contacted me, pata nahi kahan se usko mera ye laga, pata laga. He contacted me. He says, sir, you are a forceful speaker, you should come. Then I said, look, if I come, I cannot come without my HOI. This I mentioned to you. And he says, sir, ये हमारा है, ये हमारा association है, ये हम लोगों का association है. The moment he uttered this word, I said, okay, I bought it. I bought. Thank you very much.